Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where actions are often justified by intentions, where people believe that as long as their heart was in the right place, the outcome doesn't matter. But let me ask you today, what is the true measure of your character? Is it the intention behind your actions, or is it the impact those actions have on others? When we consider the relationship between our intentions and our actions, it's important to recognize that intentions, while significant, are only the starting point of our behavior. You may have the best of intentions, believing that your actions are justified, that they come from a place of truth or necessity. However, the impact of your actions is what truly matters, for it is the reality others experience, not the intention behind it, that leaves a lasting impression. Your intentions might be rooted in a desire to protect yourself, to assert your boundaries, or to correct a perceived wrong. Yet, when these intentions translate into actions that cause harm, the original intent becomes irrelevant to those who suffer the consequences. Intentions are internal, private, and known only to you. Actions, on the other hand, are external and public. They affect the lives of others in ways you may not fully anticipate or understand. Consider a scenario where someone speaks harshly to a friend, intending to give them a wake-up call for their behavior. The intention might be to help, to push them toward growth, but the harsh words could cut deeply, damaging the friend's self-esteem, trust, and view of the relationship. In this situation, the friend doesn't experience the good intentions, they only feel the sting of the hurtful words. The disconnect between intentions and actions can lead to misunderstandings, broken relationships, and emotional wounds that are difficult to heal. When you focus solely on your intentions, you may dismiss the pain you cause, thinking, I didn't mean it that way, or they should understand where I'm coming from. But the truth is, others experience your actions, not your intentions. And those actions have the power to build or destroy, to heal or to harm. It is essential, then, to bridge the gap between what you intend and how you act. This requires a heightened sense of awareness and empathy, a willingness to consider how your actions will be received, not just how they are intended. Before you speak, before you act, pause and reflect on the possible outcomes. Ask yourself whether your actions will align with the positive intentions you hold, or if they might inadvertently cause harm. In the end, while intentions are important, they are not enough. It is your actions that define the impact you have on the world around you. So strive to ensure that your actions reflect the kindness, respect, and love you intend, for it is in the harmony between intention and action that true integrity is found. Taking the time to engage in self-reflection is crucial when it comes to understanding the impact of your actions on others. It's not always easy to confront your own behavior, especially when it leads to pain or conflict. However, self-reflection is the doorway to personal growth and deeper understanding of the motivations that drive your actions. When you pause to look inward, you begin to uncover the reasons behind your behavior. You might find that your actions are rooted in emotions such as fear, anger, jealousy, or insecurity. These emotions, often buried beneath the surface, can influence how you respond to situations and people in ways you might not fully realize. For example, a harsh comment might stem from a fear of being vulnerable, or a dismissive attitude might be a defense mechanism against feeling inadequate. Without self-reflection, you can easily justify your actions, believing that you are acting out of necessity or righteousness. But this can lead to a cycle of negative behavior where the true reasons behind your actions are never addressed. When you take the time to reflect on your actions, you allow yourself to see beyond the immediate situation, to understand what is truly driving your behavior. This awareness is the first step in breaking the cycle of harm and moving toward a more compassionate and intentional way of living. Self-reflection also involves recognizing the impact of your actions on others. It's about putting yourself in their shoes and considering how they might feel or interpret what you've done. This requires a level of humility, a willingness to admit that you may have been wrong or that your actions were not as justified as you believe them to be. It's not enough to say, "I didn't mean to hurt anyone." You must ask yourself, what did my actions actually do? How did they affect those around me? Through self-reflection, you begin to take ownership of your actions and their consequences. This is not about self-criticism or guilt, but about understanding and growth. It's about becoming more aware of how your internal state, your emotions, thoughts, and beliefs influences your external behavior. With this awareness, you can start to make conscious choices that align more closely with your true intentions, rather than letting subconscious fears and insecurities dictate your actions. Ultimately, self-reflection is a powerful tool for transformation. It allows you to move from a place of reaction to a place of intentionality, where your actions are guided by wisdom and empathy, rather than impulse or defensiveness. By regularly engaging in self-reflection, you become more attuned to the impact you have on others and more capable of making choices that promote healing and understanding rather than harm. The impact of intentional harm on relationships can be profound and long-lasting. Relationships are built on trust, respect, and understanding, all of which can be severely damaged when you choose to hurt someone deliberately. What might seem like a small act of retribution or a moment of anger can create deep fractures that are difficult, if not impossible, to repair. When you intentionally cause harm, you undermine the very foundation of a relationship. Trust, once broken, is not easily restored. The person on the receiving end of your actions may begin to question everything about the relationship, whether it's a friendship, a romantic partnership, or even a professional connection. They may wonder if they can ever fully trust you again, if your actions were a one-time lapse or a sign of something deeper and more troubling. Even if you attempt to make amends, the memory of the harm lingers. The relationship may continue, but it often does so with a shadow hanging over it. Every interaction may be tinged with a sense of caution or suspicion. The openness and vulnerability that once existed can be replaced by guardedness and distance. The emotional intimacy that made the relationship strong may be compromised, leading to a weakening of the bond over time. The ripple effect of this damage extends beyond just the two individuals directly involved. It can affect your interactions with mutual friends, family members, or colleagues. Others may begin to take sides, or they might distance themselves to avoid being caught in the conflict. The broader social circle that once supported the relationship can become fragmented, creating tension and division that go far beyond the original act of harm. Furthermore, the impact on relationships isn't just about the immediate fallout. It can change the way the harmed person views themselves and their worth. They may begin to question their judgment, wondering if they somehow deserve the hurt or if they should have seen it coming. This kind of internal doubt can erode their self-esteem and confidence, leading to long-term emotional and psychological consequences. For the person who caused the harm, the impact on relationships often leads to regret and a sense of loss. As time passes, the realization of what's been lost or damaged can weigh heavily. The relationship that once brought joy, support, and companionship may no longer be the same, and the opportunity to experience the fullness of that connection could be gone forever. In the end, the intentional harm inflicted on a relationship doesn't just hurt the other person, it also diminishes your own experience of love, trust, and connection. Relationships are among the most valuable aspects of life, providing support, joy, and meaning. When you intentionally damage a relationship, you risk losing one of life's greatest treasures. The impact is deep, often irreversible, and serves as a reminder of the power of our actions and the importance of nurturing the bonds we share with others. When you intentionally cause harm to others, the spiritual consequences are often more profound than you might initially realize. At the core of your spiritual journey is the pursuit of alignment with divine purpose, a path that calls for love, compassion, and integrity. When you choose to inflict harm, you stray from this path, creating a rift not only in your relationships with others, but also in your connection with the divine. Spiritually, every action you take is a reflection of your inner state and your relationship with a higher power. When you act out of anger, jealousy, or malice, you are essentially choosing to operate from a place of darkness rather than light. This choice has repercussions that go beyond the physical or emotional. It affects your spiritual well-being. You begin to distance yourself from the divine qualities of love and grace that are meant to guide your life. This spiritual distancing can manifest in several ways. You may find that your sense of peace and fulfillment diminishes. The more you indulge in harmful behavior, the further you move away from the source of true joy and contentment. This is because spiritual growth is nurtured by acts of kindness, forgiveness, and understanding, qualities that are directly opposed to intentional harm. Moreover, causing harm can lead to a sense of spiritual guilt or shame. Deep down, you may know that your actions are not in line with your higher purpose, and this realization can create an internal conflict. You might feel unworthy of divine love or forgiveness, which can lead to a cycle of negativity and self-condemnation. This sense of spiritual disconnection can be one of the most painful consequences of your actions, as it touches the very essence of who you are and who you are meant to become. Another aspect of the spiritual consequences is the impact on your ability to receive divine guidance. When your actions are rooted in harm, it becomes harder to hear the still, small voice that guides you toward truth and righteousness. The noise of your own guilt, anger, or self-justification can drown out the guidance that would otherwise lead you to make better choices. In this state, you may feel lost or directionless, struggling to find meaning and purpose. Furthermore, the spiritual consequences extend beyond your own life. In many spiritual traditions, the harm you cause to others creates a ripple effect in the spiritual realm. The negative energy you put out into the world can come back to you in unexpected ways, manifesting as obstacles, setbacks, or continued conflict in your life. This is often understood as a form of spiritual reciprocity. What you sow, you shall reap. When you plant seeds of harm, you invite harm back into your own life, perpetuating a cycle of pain and suffering. Ultimately, the spiritual consequences of intentionally causing harm are a reminder of the sacred responsibility you have to live in alignment with your highest values. Every action, every word carries spiritual weight. When you choose to act with love and compassion, you draw closer to your divine purpose, creating a life filled with peace, joy, and fulfillment. Conversely, when you choose to harm, you distance yourself from the source of all that is good and true, leading to a life marked by spiritual emptiness and disconnection. To restore your spiritual connection, it is essential to seek forgiveness, not just from those you've harmed, but from the divine as well. This involves sincere repentance and a commitment to change, aligning your future actions with the principles of love, kindness, and integrity. Only by doing so can you begin to heal the spiritual wounds you've inflicted on yourself and others and return to the path of true spiritual growth and fulfillment. When you intentionally cause harm, you are not just creating immediate pain or conflict, you are also shaping a legacy of destruction that can have long-lasting effects. This legacy is the imprint you leave on the world, on the people you interact with, and on the relationships you form. It's a legacy that doesn't just affect the present moment, but can resonate far into the future, impacting others in ways you may not fully understand or intend. Your actions, especially those driven by harmful intent, set into motion a chain of events that can ripple through time. The destruction you cause can leave scars, emotional, psychological, and even spiritual, that take years or even a lifetime to heal. When you choose to hurt someone, that hurt can shape their future actions, their sense of self-worth, and their ability to trust others. It's like planting a seed of bitterness or fear that can grow and spread, influencing not just the person you targeted, but also those around them. This legacy of destruction is not limited to the individuals directly involved. It can extend to families, communities, and even generations. For instance, a pattern of abusive or harmful behavior within a family can create a cycle of pain that passes from one generation to the next. Children who witness or experience this harm may carry the wounds into their own relationships, perpetuating the cycle of destruction. In this way, the harm you cause today can echo long after you are gone, leaving a trail of brokenness in its wake. On a broader scale, the legacy of destruction can affect entire communities or organizations. Harmful actions can erode the fabric of trust and cooperation that holds groups together. In a workplace, for example, a leader who intentionally undermines others can create a toxic environment that stifles creativity, diminishes morale, and fosters resentment. This toxic culture can persist even after the leader is gone, leaving behind a legacy of dysfunction that may take years to repair. Furthermore, the legacy of destruction you leave behind reflects on your character and the way you are remembered by others. People will remember not just what you achieved, but how you treated them and the impact you had on their lives. If your actions are marked by harm and destruction, that is the legacy that will define your memory. It is a legacy that taints your name and diminishes the positive contributions you may have made. Even if you have accomplished great things, if those accomplishments are overshadowed by the harm you've caused, your legacy becomes one of duality, where the good you did is constantly weighed against the destruction you left behind. This kind of legacy is complex, often leading others to view your life and your actions with ambivalence or even outright condemnation. The legacy of destruction also affects your own sense of fulfillment and peace as you reflect on your life. As time passes, the reality of the harm you've caused can weigh heavily on your conscience. You may find yourself haunted by the memories of those you've hurt, the relationships you damaged, and the opportunities for healing and reconciliation that were lost. This internal burden can be difficult to bear, leading to regret and a longing for redemption. It is important to recognize that while a legacy of destruction is a powerful and lasting consequence of harmful actions, it is not the final word. You have the ability to change the course of your legacy. By acknowledging the harm you've caused, taking responsibility, and making a sincere effort to repair the damage, you can begin to shift your legacy from one of destruction to one of healing and restoration. This process requires humility, courage, and a deep commitment to change. It may involve difficult conversations, seeking forgiveness, and making amends. But through these actions, you can begin to rebuild the trust and relationships that were broken. Over time, your legacy can transform from one of destruction to one of reconciliation, where the harm you caused is not forgotten, but is redeemed through your efforts to make things right. The choice is yours. You can continue on a path that leaves behind a legacy of destruction, or you can choose to create a legacy of healing, love, and positive impact. This choice will define not only how others remember you, but also how you view your own life and the mark you leave on the world. Words have a profound and lasting impact, carrying the power to shape realities, influence emotions, and alter the course of relationships. When we speak, we are not just conveying information, we are creating experiences and memories that can uplift or devastate those who hear us. The power of words lies in their ability to penetrate the heart and mind, leaving impressions that can last a lifetime. Consider how a single word of encouragement can inspire someone to pursue their dreams or give them the strength to overcome challenges. Conversely, a harsh or thoughtless comment can crush a person's spirit, planting seeds of doubt, insecurity, or resentment. Words have the unique ability to influence how people perceive themselves in the world around them. They can build someone up or tear them down, foster connection or create distance, and bring comfort or cause pain. The impact of words is amplified in close relationships, where trust and intimacy make us more vulnerable to the words spoken by those we care about. In these contexts, words carry even more weight, as they are often taken to heart and can significantly influence how we feel about ourselves and our relationship with the other person. A kind word from a loved one can provide reassurance and a sense of belonging, while a cruel remark can lead to feelings of betrayal and emotional wounds that may take a long time to heal. Moreover, the power of words extends beyond their immediate impact. Words spoken in anger or frustration can echo in the mind of the listener long after the conversation has ended. They can replay the hurtful things said over and over, deepening the pain and making it harder to forgive or forget. On the other hand, positive words of affirmation and love can also linger, providing a source of comfort and strength in difficult times. This enduring quality of words makes it crucial to choose them wisely, understanding that what we say in a moment of anger or carelessness can have lasting consequences. The spiritual and moral implications of words are also significant. In many spiritual traditions, words are seen as a reflection of one's inner state and moral character. Speaking with kindness, truth, and compassion is often viewed as an expression of spiritual maturity and alignment with divine principles. Conversely, using words to harm or deceive is considered a moral failing, a misuse of the gift of speech that distances us from our higher selves and the divine. Words are also powerful tools in shaping our reality. The way we speak about ourselves, our circumstances, and others can influence our mindset and ultimately our actions. Positive, affirming language can help us cultivate a mindset of growth and resilience, while negative, self-defeating language can lead to a sense of helplessness and despair. The words we use to describe our experiences can shape our perception of those experiences, highlighting the importance of speaking with intention and mindfulness. In the context of leadership, the power of words is magnified. Leaders have the ability to inspire and mobilize others through their words, setting the tone for an entire organization or community. A leader's words can create a vision that unites people and drives them toward a common goal, or they can sow discord and division. The language used by leaders can influence the culture of an organization, shaping how people interact with one another and how they view their work. A leader who speaks with clarity, respect, and encouragement can foster a positive and productive environment, while one who uses harsh or divisive language can create a toxic atmosphere that undermines morale and collaboration. Given the immense power of words, it is essential to approach communication with care and intentionality. This means being mindful of not only what we say, but also how we say it. Tone, timing, and context all play a role in how our words are received. It also involves taking responsibility for our words, acknowledging the impact they may have on others, and being willing to make amends when necessary. In moments of conflict or heightened emotion, it can be especially challenging to choose our words wisely. Yet, it is in these moments that the power of words is most evident and where the potential for harm is greatest. Practicing restraint and taking a moment to consider the possible effects of our words can prevent unnecessary hurt and preserve the integrity of our relationships. In conclusion, words are not just a means of communication, they are powerful instruments that can shape lives, influence emotions, and define relationships. By recognizing the power of our words and using them with intention and compassion, we can build stronger connections, promote understanding, and contribute to a more positive and loving world. The words we choose to speak reflect not only who we are, but also the impact we wish to have on others and the legacy we want to leave behind. Accountability is a cornerstone of integrity and a vital component in the process of personal and spiritual growth. It involves taking full responsibility for your actions, acknowledging their impact on others, and making a sincere effort to correct any harm caused. When you hold yourself accountable, you demonstrate a commitment to living by your values and principles, even when it is difficult or uncomfortable. Taking accountability begins with honest self-assessment. This means being willing to look at your actions objectively without justifying or minimizing the harm they may have caused. It requires you to confront the reality of behavior and its consequences, rather than deflecting blame or making excuses. This level of honesty with yourself is crucial because it lays the foundation for genuine change. Without acknowledging the truth of your actions, any attempt at reconciliation or growth will be superficial and short-lived. Acknowledging your role in causing harm is an essential step in accountability. It's not enough to simply regret your actions internally. True accountability involves communicating this to those you have hurt. This might mean offering a sincere apology that goes beyond just saying, "I'm sorry." It involves expressing a deep understanding of the pain you have caused and showing empathy for the person's experience. Acknowledging the harm also means being open to hearing how your actions affected the other person, even if it's difficult to listen to. This openness is a sign of respect and a willingness to learn from the situation. Taking accountability also means accepting the consequences of your actions. This might involve making amends, whether that's through a gesture of goodwill, a change in behavior, or in some cases accepting that a relationship may not fully recover from the damage done. Accepting the consequences is a way of demonstrating that you are willing to take responsibility for your choices and their impact without trying to evade the fallout. It shows maturity and a readiness to learn from your mistakes. True accountability is not just about addressing past wrongs, but also about making a commitment to change. It involves reflecting on the underlying reasons for your behavior and taking steps to ensure that it doesn't happen again. This might mean developing better emotional regulation, seeking counseling, or working on communication skills. By making these changes, you show that you are serious about personal growth and that you value your relationships enough to put in the effort to improve. In a broader sense, accountability extends to the way you interact with your community and society as a whole. It means recognizing that your actions contribute to the larger social fabric and that you have a responsibility to act in ways that promote justice, fairness, and kindness. Whether in your personal life, workplace, or community, being accountable means being a reliable and trustworthy person, someone who can be counted on to act with integrity and consideration for others. Accountability also involves holding others to account when necessary. This is particularly important in leadership roles where your actions set the tone for those you lead. By modeling accountability, you create an environment where others feel safe to take responsibility for their actions as well. This fosters a culture of honesty, transparency, and continuous improvement where people are encouraged to learn from their mistakes rather than hide them. Finally, accountability is a lifelong practice. It's not something you do once and then move on from. It's an ongoing commitment to living with integrity. As you grow and evolve, you will inevitably face new challenges and make new mistakes. Each time, accountability will be the key to learning from those experiences and continuing on your path of personal and spiritual development. By embracing accountability, you not only repair the harm you've caused, but also strengthen your character and relationships. It's a powerful act of humility and courage, one that ultimately leads to deeper connections, greater self-respect, and a more meaningful life. Accountability is not about perfection, but about the willingness to learn, grow, and strive to be the best version of yourself, even when it's difficult. Healing the wounds caused by intentional harm is a process that requires time, effort, and a sincere commitment to restoration. When harm has been done, it leaves behind emotional and sometimes physical scars that can linger long after the initial pain has passed. Healing these wounds is not just about addressing the surface level of the hurt. It involves deep emotional and relational work that seeks to repair the damage and restore trust. The first step in the healing process is acknowledgement. It's crucial to recognize the pain that has been caused and validate the feelings of those who have been hurt. This validation is essential because it communicates to the wounded person that their pain is real and that it matters. Often, the act of simply acknowledging the harm and expressing genuine remorse can begin to soothe the hurt, as it shows that the person responsible understands the gravity of their actions. Once acknowledgement has been made, the next step is to offer a sincere apology. This apology should go beyond a mere formality. It should be a heartfelt expression of regret that includes an understanding of the specific ways in which the harm has affected the other person. A sincere apology also involves taking responsibility without attempting to justify or downplay the hurtful actions. By doing so, you open the door to healing as the wounded person sees that you are truly sorry and that you care about their well-being. After an apology, the process of rebuilding trust begins. Trust is often the most fragile aspect of a relationship and the hardest to repair once it has been broken. Rebuilding trust requires consistent actions over time that demonstrate a commitment to change. This might involve making amends in practical ways, such as changing behaviors that led to the harm, being more mindful in interactions, or making efforts to rebuild the connection that was damaged. It's important to be patient during this stage, as trust is not something that can be rushed or forced. It must be earned through reliable and respectful behavior. Another critical aspect of healing is communication. Open, honest, and empathetic communication is key to addressing the underlying issues that led to the harm and preventing them from recurring. This involves not only speaking but also truly listening to the feelings, demands, concerns, and needs of the person who was hurt. Through this dialogue, both parties can gain a better understanding of each other, which is essential for healing the emotional wounds and moving forward. Forgiveness plays a central role in the healing process, though it is not always easy to achieve. Forgiveness is not about condoning the harm or forgetting that it happened. Rather, it's about releasing the hold that the pain has on the heart. For the person who was hurt, forgiveness can be a way to free themselves from the burden of anger and resentment, allowing them to move forward with their lives. For the person who caused the harm, seeking forgiveness is a step toward redemption and the restoration of the relationship. However, it's important to remember that forgiveness is a personal journey and can't be rushed. It happens in its own time, and both parties must be willing to engage in the process with patience and understanding. Healing also involves self-reflection and personal growth. For the person who caused the harm, this means taking a hard look at the reasons behind their actions and making a conscious effort to change. It's about learning from the experience and committing to becoming a better person. This self-improvement is vital not only for repairing the current relationship, but also for preventing similar harm in the future. In some cases, healing the wounds may require external help, such as counseling or mediation. A neutral third party can provide guidance and support, helping both parties navigate the complex emotions and challenges involved in the healing process. This can be especially helpful when the wounds are deep or when communication has broken down to the point where it's difficult to engage constructively. It's important to recognize that healing is not always a linear process. There may be setbacks, and the pain may resurface from time to time. However, with commitment, empathy, and a genuine desire to make things right, healing can take place. It's about creating a new foundation for the relationship, one that is stronger and more resilient because it has been tested and refined through the process of overcoming hurt. Ultimately, healing the wounds caused by intentional harm is a journey that requires both parties to work together. It's about rebuilding what was broken and creating a space where love, trust, and respect can flourish once again. The process may be challenging, but it also offers the opportunity for profound growth and deeper connection, both with others and with oneself. Through healing, we can transform pain into strength and moves into wisdom, creating a future that is marked not by the harm that was done, but by the resilience and love that emerged in its aftermath. The ripple effect of intentional harm is a powerful and often underestimated consequence of our actions. When you cause harm, the impact does not remain confined to the immediate situation or the individuals directly involved. Instead, it spreads outward, affecting others in ways that may not be immediately visible or anticipated. Just as a stone dropped into water creates ripples that move outward in all directions, so too does the harm you cause create a series of reactions and consequences that can touch many lives. The first wave of the ripple effect usually affects the person you directly harmed. Their pain, anger, or sorrow can influence how they interact with others, potentially causing a shift in their behavior or outlook. They may become more guarded, less trusting, or more likely to withdraw from relationships, carrying the emotional burden of the harm with them into other areas of their life. This can lead to a breakdown in communication and connection, not just with you, but with others as well. For example, someone who has been hurt by a close friend may become less open and vulnerable in future friendships, leading to a sense of isolation or loneliness. The next wave of the ripple effect extends to those who are connected to the person who was hurt. Family members, friends, and colleagues may be impacted as they witness the pain and struggle of their loved one. They may feel compelled to take sides, which can create tension and conflict within their own relationships. In some cases, they might experience secondary trauma, where the pain of the original harm resonates with them on a personal level, causing emotional distress or a sense of helplessness. This can lead to a broader breakdown in social cohesion, as people who were once close may find themselves drifting apart or becoming entangled in conflict. Beyond personal relationships, the ripple effect can extend into communities, workplaces, and social networks. When harm is caused within these larger contexts, it can disrupt the harmony and functionality of the group. For example, in a workplace setting, intentional harm such as sabotage, gossip, or bullying can create a toxic environment that lowers morale, reduces productivity, and increases turnover. The effects of this toxicity can spread throughout the organization, affecting not just the individuals involved, but the overall culture and success of the business. Similarly, in a community, intentional harm can lead to divisions, mistrust, and a breakdown in the sense of unity and cooperation that holds the group together. The ripple effect also has a generational impact, especially when the harm is significant or occurs within a family. The wounds caused by intentional harm can be passed down from one generation to the next, influencing how children are raised, how they view relationships, and how they interact with the world. For instance, a child who grows up in an environment where there is emotional or physical harm may carry those experiences into adulthood, potentially repeating the cycle of harm in their own relationships. This generational ripple effect can perpetuate a legacy of pain and dysfunction, making it even more challenging to break the cycle and create a healthier future. Another aspect of the ripple effect is the way it can influence the behavior of others who witness or hear about the harm. People are often influenced by the actions and attitudes of those around them, and intentional harm can set a negative example that others may follow. This can create a culture of harm where negative behaviors are normalized and even perpetuated by others who see them as acceptable or inevitable. Conversely, when harm is addressed and healing is pursued, it can create a positive ripple effect, encouraging others to engage in more compassionate and constructive behavior. The ripple effect also extends to your own life and personal growth. The harm you cause can come back to affect you in unexpected ways as the consequences of your actions reverberate through your relationships and social circles. You may find that the harm you inflicted on others returns to you, damaging your reputation, straining your relationships, and limiting your opportunities for personal growth. This is often referred to as karma, or the principle that the energy you put out into the world eventually returns to you. The negative ripples you create can lead to feelings of regret, guilt, and loneliness as you realize the full extent of the damage you have caused. However, it is important to recognize that the ripple effect is not solely negative. Just as harm can spread and create further pain, so too can positive actions create ripples of healing and restoration. When you take responsibility for your actions, seek forgiveness, and make amends, you can begin to reverse the negative ripple effect and create a positive one in its place. Acts of kindness, empathy, and reconciliation can spread outward, touching the lives of others and inspiring them to engage in similar positive behaviors. By taking conscious steps to heal the harm you've caused, you can transform the ripple effect into a force for good, creating waves of positive change that extend far beyond the original situation. The ripple effect of intentional harm is a powerful reminder that our actions have far-reaching consequences, often beyond what we can immediately see or anticipate. Understanding this can inspire us to act with greater care and consideration, knowing that the impact of our choices extends far beyond ourselves. By striving to create positive ripples in the lives of others, we contribute to a more compassionate and connected world, where the effects of our actions uplift rather than harm. Choosing restoration over destruction is a powerful and transformative decision that can significantly impact both your personal life and the lives of those around you. This choice involves actively working towards repairing and healing rather than perpetuating harm or chaos. It reflects a commitment to fostering positive change, building stronger relationships, and contributing to a more harmonious environment. Restoration begins with recognizing the consequences of your actions and understanding their broader impact. It requires a shift from focusing solely on immediate gratification or self-interest to considering the long-term effects on yourself and others. This shift involves acknowledging the damage caused and choosing to address it with intentional, constructive efforts. By doing so, you take responsibility for your actions and demonstrate a willingness to make amends, which is the foundation for any meaningful restoration process. The process of restoration often involves heartfelt apologies and genuine efforts to make things right. An apology is not merely a formality, but a crucial step in acknowledging the harm and expressing sincere regret. Alongside the apology, taking concrete actions to rectify the situation is essential. This might involve repairing relationships, offering support to those affected, or changing behaviors that led to the harm. Such actions show a genuine commitment to restoring trust and rebuilding what was damaged. Choosing restoration also means actively working to improve and grow from the experience. It involves reflecting on the reasons behind the actions that cause harm and making a conscious effort to change. This might include personal development, such as improving communication skills, learning to manage emotions more effectively, or seeking professional guidance. By focusing on personal growth, you not only address past mistakes, but also prevent similar issues from arising in the future. Restoration extends beyond individual relationships to the broader community and environment. It involves contributing positively to the world around you, fostering an atmosphere of support, and working towards collective well-being. This might include engaging in community service, supporting others in their healing journeys, or promoting positive change in areas where you have influence. By contributing to the greater good, you help create a more supportive and harmonious environment for everyone. In the context of relationships, choosing restoration means investing in rebuilding trust and strengthening bonds. This requires patience, consistency, and a willingness to address underlying issues. It involves actively listening to the needs and concerns of others, showing empathy, and working together to find solutions. Restoring relationships is not about erasing past mistakes, but about creating new, positive experiences that help heal and strengthen the connection. Restoration also entails a commitment to ongoing vigilance and mindfulness. It's not just about addressing the immediate damage, but also about maintaining a focus on positive behaviors and attitudes moving forward. This involves regularly evaluating your actions, seeking feedback from others, and being open to continuous improvement. By staying mindful of the impact of your behavior, you contribute to a culture of respect and integrity. Choosing restoration over destruction is a choice that reflects a deep respect for yourself and others. It's about valuing the potential for healing and growth over the immediate ease of avoiding responsibility or perpetuating harm. It requires courage, humility, and a genuine desire to make a positive difference. This choice can lead to profound personal transformation, stronger relationships, and a more positive impact on the world. Ultimately, the decision to choose restoration is a testament to your commitment to living a life of integrity and compassion. It demonstrates a willingness to face difficult truths, make amends, and work towards creating a better future. By choosing restoration, you embrace the opportunity to turn challenges into opportunities for growth, repair, and meaningful change. In conclusion, the path of choosing restoration over destruction is one of profound significance and enduring impact. It requires more than mere acknowledgement of past mistakes. It demands a deliberate and heartfelt commitment to healing, growth, and positive change. By recognizing the ripple effects of our actions and embracing the process of restoration, we transform our relationships, communities, and ourselves. This journey begins with a sincere apology and a commitment to making amends. It involves ongoing self-reflection, personal growth, and a dedication to fostering a supportive environment. Choosing restoration means prioritizing the well-being of others and contributing to the greater good rather than perpetuating harm or conflict. It's about creating a legacy of integrity, compassion, and resilience. As we navigate the complexities of life, we have the power to shape our actions and their consequences. By choosing to restore rather than destroy, we open the door to healing, strengthen our connections, and build a more harmonious world. The choice to act with intention, empathy, and responsibility not only mends the wounds of the past, but also paves the way for a brighter, more positive future. Let us remember that every action we take, every word we speak, and every decision we make carries the potential to either uplift or harm. By embracing the principles of restoration, we affirm our commitment to being agents of positive change, contributing to a legacy that reflects our highest values and aspirations. Together, we can choose a path that leads to healing, growth, and enduring connection, making a meaningful difference in our lives and the lives of those around us.